Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Or perhaps now, we'll begin. But where and when? Well, in the beginning. At the beginning. So in the beginning was the word. Incipit. It begins. Although that's two words. In Hebrew, it's back to one, Bereshit. In beginning, two again. The definite article is missing, but implied. Although apparently that beginning is a beginning among other possible beginnings, not like the absolute beginning. So for our purposes, here, now, rather than there and then, in the beginning, it begins. In a different colour, so we know. Makes it explicit. Well, let's not go there just now, because explicit is incipit's counterpart, actually means the end, kind of too soon. So in the beginning, something about where the honoured and noble warriors are, the sheep and wild oxen, and taking tablets or something. In our city in former days. Now we're getting somewhere, or can at least start beginning somewhere. As custom dictates, beyond the fields we know, once upon a time. That's not like ad-libbing in a blue mood on some dark and stormy night from around 1950, which is, as we all know, 10 to 8. Rather, opening tales in some form or another since 1380, when they didn't use the 24-hour clock. Perhaps without much play of fancy, there was once a time, and a very good time it was, though neither in my time nor in anyone else's, effective enough for the fairy epoch, or apparently if you're a tramp. So, time was time. I've told you what's coming. It was long, long ago. If I was there that time, I would not be here now. But as I am, I have one small story. As I have it today, may you have it 7,000 times better tomorrow. May you only lose a pair of the incisors by it, 5 of the grinders, and a fine strip of gum. So anyway, one day, a long time ago, once there was, although there was not, there was, what there was, or there wasn't, in the oldest of days and in ages and times, in some country, story, a story of silk. Beyond 7 mountain ranges, beyond 7 valleys, beyond 7 rivers, behind 7 lands and seas, across 7 countries, through the sea of Oponitia, through the glass mountains where the curly-tailed pig delves, beyond 9 seas, beyond 9 lagoons, a long, long time ago, when goats' wool was grey, when goats had feathers. Back in the days when it was all still of help to wish for a thing. On an old day, in the old times, back when tigers used to smoke tobacco. There once was, as never before, because if there wasn't, it wouldn't actually have been told. So in the 3/9 kingdom, in the 3/10 realm, where the water was being strewn, the sand poured, when haystacks winnowed seas, when genies jeered in the old bathhouse, when fleas were barbers, when camels were town criers, and when I softly rocked my grandmother to sleep in her creaking cradle. Once there lived a king. Once upon the time, there was a truly great friendship. Once there was a story. Back perhaps then to the absolute Bereshit we have sought. A bell rang. Whistle, whistle, the story is done. A story that went to other homes. Bless the folk of its listeners. Tale told, tale finished. Snip, snap, snout, the story is out. The crow hasn't arrived at his house. But then came an elephant and a very long snout, and it blew the story out, as a cat in the bog put up its tail. They lived happily and ate partridges. They went by the ford, and I went by the stepping stones. You fed me bread. They gave me nothing but paper shoes and fat milk. And I was there, drank some mead ale, and dribbled through my beard, not into my mouth, and the spinach is eaten by the goat. more explicitly now then, there was this work that went from valley to valley, and I remained with the good people. And it was, or it was not, come into the pumpkin and came out of the Curzon, as 3 apples fell from the sky. One for those who know to keep their inner child alive, one for those who know to listen and think before they act, and one for those who never lose the love and hope within their soul. They all lived peacefully and prosperously as we achieved our heart's desires, and redhead, we will all live happily ever after. And now are you sitting